Welcome to Intuitive Consulting Group. Here we give guidance to restaurants who are seeking to take that big jump into the franchise world or to the ones just trying to make their small business successful for them and their families. I will be showing you what we are doing here as a consulting firm to give your marketing and advertising on course to pursue business models that you want for your restaurant, all the way from profits to staff management. My name is Michael Monterosso. I'm a representative with Intuitive Consulting. I am the marketing associate and communication advisor for this firm. I have worked in sales with companies such as Nissan and Ford in such areas of advertisement and team management skills for many years. I have recently started working with Intuitive Consulting to bring my skills and knowledge to business owners, hoping to bring their restaurant's dreams to the table with my experience and expertise in branding and management. I would say I'm a great candidate to keep you afloat and build your business to operating at full potential. With being in sales and management, I would have to say that communication is one of the biggest factors to having success. With no communication between the members of the company or the staff, you cannot thrive. Who needs to be doing what and when they need to be doing it? Details matter all the way down to the smallest crumb to have a recipe for success. Intuitive Consulting actually started about 5 years ago. It was just a group of friends that decided to get a business model up together after going out to eat and having terrible service, but with a great options of food that they were presented with. So after experiencing low quality service and a high potential for a restaurant, they decided we should step in and lead the way for future managers and business owners. Our mission is to grow a brand of self-awareness and revenue by using resources at the restaurant already owned to make it even better while bringing a new merchandise to contribute to the growth and to the restaurant's morale. We believe that the restaurants can operate at its fullest potential with a lot of things they already have, but we want to add a few things they don't. We want to come in and explore the different aspects, for example, customer service, production, the lines at the kitchen, the marketing area, and how the owners interact with the customers and how the customers interact with the employees as well on a day-to-day basis. Growing and bringing a brand of awareness allows more traffic in and out of your restaurant. We want you to take a piece of that feedback and apply it to your workspace. It is important to know every detail of your business to ensure you are running on a smooth day-to-day basis. Now that you know what some of our objectives here are at Intuitive, we're going to bring in one of the restaurants that we've worked with. It's located in Carrollton, Georgia, right near University of West Georgia campus, about a 10-minute ride from there. This restaurant is called Jerry's Country Kitchen, and with new marketing and remodeling, there can be improvement for the business for their future. It already has regular customers and would like to move forward with the modern marketing by obtaining and retaining new customers. The breakfast food there is filling and amazing, but the owner wants a new recipe for success and they've chosen us to work with. This here is Sam and Jerry Eady, the owner of Jerry's Country Kitchen. This restaurant has been operated by both of them for 40 plus years. Her husband passed away about 2 years ago, so she decided to look out for us for help at Intuitive. Once we talked to her, we were able to get a whole game plan together of what she wanted to do and how we should approach the situation that she wants to ensue. As soon as we talked to Miss Edie, we wanted to do some research. We got into her competitor list because we wanted to know what was else in the area. The Carrollton area consisted of a Martin's, which is mainly a carry-out area, drive-through area. They don't have servers or anything like that when you dine in. They have great biscuits. They're a great on the work drive-through. Get your food while you're there in a hurry restaurant. Other than that, they have a high grease content, which nobody wants to put in their system every day of the month. Waffle House was the other area that's there. There was three other locations in the Carrollton area, and she's actually pretty much right in the center of all those three locations. They are an inspired restaurant for breakfast, but their FDA cleaning scores, and let's face it, Waffle House is a Waffle House for a reason. Everybody loves to eat there. Not everybody's going to keep going back and back and back every morning. So as soon as we talked to her and reconfirmed with her on that, she started getting a little more at ease about which way we're going to start going. The only other place that was in the area, which wasn't even really in her area, is Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel has three locations, one in Noonan, one in Douglasville, one in Bremen. And all those are a 35, 40-minute plus drive from her location in Carrollton. So she didn't have to worry about that too much. The only thing she has to worry about is if they move one into Carrollton with a chain restaurant like that, anything's possible. It just depends on land merchandise. So now the store itself, it does pose a threat towards her merchandising since she did not have any merchandising whenever she worked with us. The Cracker Barrel's merchandise store, as everybody knows, you go in, that's the very first thing you see. So you're running up a big uphill creek with that. Other than that, she really didn't have any other concerns to threat with on the competitors. The next thing we addressed with Miss Edie was her strengths. It's always good to start off with a strength instead of a weakness whenever you're addressing a new client or anybody in particular. You want to build them up. You want them to have that strength. They want them to know, hey, we're going to go ahead and help you out with this and make it even better. She has plenty of strength weaknesses when it comes to her food. These plates come out filled in huge portions. It's ridiculous. You eat there, you're full. You ain't got to worry about that until maybe dinner time. Her environment is an at-home eating environment. This building was built off an old house, and they repurposed the outside to make it more like a business. But it's an at-home eating environment with stools, seats, everything. It's really nice to go in there and just have that feeling of grandma just made you breakfast right there in your own home. The customer engagement is also a big strength that they have. Whenever we did our little sneak in interview, watch in, seeing how they address people, they had all their staff working with customers great. They had one or two things that would go wrong here and there, and those are things that we could fix on an easy SWOT interview, and that's something I will address with you all later on in the slide. The other great strength that she had was her location. She's got two neighborhoods around her. Everybody's in walking distance, but whenever we looked outside, we saw a lot of people mainly drive golf carts to come in. So that helps out considering they don't have much parking space to their restaurant. When we talked to Miss Edie, we told her we would go over a strength versus a weakness area. Once we went ahead and did our little sneak in evaluation, start ordering and talking to people, and we wanted to let her know by seeing and understanding all the reviews and the traits of her business, we're going to take a positive and a negative to use it to her advantage and see what we could change. Understanding your customer and seeing the experience is important because as an owner, you don't get the same experience as you do as a restaurant customer. When seeing these workable opportunities, we can use great effects to change the experience for everyday customers that come in. After we did our little sit-in eating area with Miss Edie, we went ahead and talked to her and we gave her a SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis is basically your strength, your weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats that you can obtain as a restaurant. So this gives you a good guideline to go ahead and go through the whole system and figure out what you need to work on. We went ahead and told her her strengths, having a full plate of food on there whenever she comes. You don't get shorted at all. The home eating environment, conveniently located in town, and a great staff to work with. Her weaknesses, limited parking, which didn't affect too much since a lot of people, as we saw, drove golf carts to come in, so they're not as big as cars. Didn't work out to hurt her too much. The lack of customer service, that was something that we could definitely easily fix just working with a communications class and just having somebody come in and guide them along the right line of customer service. The only other thing that we could think of and see plainly was a limited space option. Since it was an older house that was converted into a restaurant, the space is kind of limited. Whenever I checked my analysis sheet, I think they had 10 tables in there. You got 5 at the bar sitting area, and that was about it for seating. She did add additional space outside, but that was only 2 iron chairs, little seating areas for her and her customers to sit at. So it's something we'd have to venture on as we talk to her. She had great opportunities to create merchandise and showcase for the restaurant around town, which a lot of the town members knew about it, but you got newer generations coming up and they won't know about it, so they'd see the merch, come in, see how good the food is. She didn't really have any advertising for the store, so that's how we got to make it a stronger pinpoint for her to realize this. Staff communication training was also a big opportunity that we needed to do. And like we said, we only saw 1 or 2 people that didn't really cause an issue, but there were things that could have been averted to stop something happening where it kind of irritated a customer. Things like that are just little things that can add up and cause trouble down the road. Her threats, like I told her, she doesn't have any large chains in there, so the little closest thing she had was Cracker Barrel, which is 40-minute drive in north, south, and west directions from her. The change of atmosphere would change a little bit just because you got people learning new things. They may get irritated with it. They may not like it. So it just might be unprofessional for them for a while, and they just don't know how to address it until we finally get a handle on it and work with them on it. And that's one of the things that we mainly do here at this consulting firm, is working with our staff and helping them out and teaching everybody the best ways to keep a customer happy. As we went ahead and did some more research, we always check out reviews. And we saw a couple of reviews where everything seemed to fall in perfect line. The customers were happy. They liked their food. They liked the atmosphere. They liked everything that was there in the store. Like I said, you're going to have strengths and weaknesses. So you're going to have good and bad no matter where you go. These customers here even put testimonies up, and they even went on to say how much they liked their breakfast. The biscuits and gravies are amazing. Actually, that's on the next slide. But coming from the restaurant and the ambience that the one customer felt, Chip, he was very happy with everything she went through with the staff and the food, as it seems. We'll go ahead. We got one more slide for you to read on strengths. This customer, Megan, she's actually from Douglasville, and she came all the way to Carrollton to eat here. So she left this review up. She was very happy with everything. And like I said, Douglasville has a Cracker Barrel, has Waffle Houses, has tons of places. It even has some Martins up there as well. So they got tons of breakfast options, but she decided to make a 40-minute drive to come here and eat. So that says a lot about you and how word of mouth even helps get your business name out there. She went on to say about how the food was great. Bacon, toast, the eggs. Her main plate was the biscuits and gravy, and she loved every bit of it. So you're always going to have customers that are always going to be happy, but you're always going to have some customers that are going to be unhappy. So the unhappy can outweigh the positive, as I let her know. So we just going to go ahead and go into those and tell you how we would direct it and worked with it. Let Miss Edie know you're always going to have some negative to go along with your strengths. So, of course, you're always going to have a negative review here and there, but she also didn't have anybody to direct or address these problems with their online thing. As you see right here, you got 2 surveys where they were unhappy with the food or they were unhappy with the service that was being given to them. Whenever we found this and nobody was addressing these issues, we had to let her know. Addressing these issues online is a big influence of how you're going to get business in, because most of our generation now, they do all their research and everything online before they even go eat somewhere. It's not like, hey, let's drive in town, go see what we like, and then we'll go there. Now they go ahead and look up and they find what they like, and then they'll see if it's any good, and they'll make their decision based on that. So whenever they started talking about this and addressing it, it did help her business out big time, and we set somebody to take care of these online problems for her at our firm, and it increased her business tenfold. I don't think she's had a bad review probably the last 6 or 7 months. So the lowest star I think I saw was 3 or 4 when we did our monthly review on her. So it's always going to be a big issue that comes up, but we will address it and we take care of it here at Intuitive. Developing merchandise and working into your business is a great way to advertise your business. Selling shirts, hats, or in this case, even cast iron pans with your name embedded into it will give an edge to getting your name out there to the public. And that's something that we did advance and take care of for Miss Edie at Jerry's Country Kitchen. As soon as we did that, you would see koozies going around. You'd see a hat here, a shirt there, just like everybody does in every town to try to represent something they like. That's a good word of mouth, and it gets your business name out there in a big way. Working with Intuitive Consulting gave them a chance to explore options that was not presented in their current venture, giving them ideas for marketing and in-store training to help them further their business. Our marketing team came up with great ideas to help Miss Edie out at Jerry's Country Kitchen. We'd all sit there, not much more like this, except I don't think we played games as much as these people here on our slide. Now, we would come up with ideas, sit there, try to figure out what we could do, what would be best for the community, and how should they get viewed at the community. That's a big impulse in how it works for every business, how your community views you, and that's going to affect your business in a big way. Another issue we did come up about with Miss Edie was having her staff trained in the right ways to have learning points, further development, and to teach it to new additions that get added to her business as she moves forward. Having the right staff, having them trained the right way, is all a big part in every business. You're not going to go somewhere, get disrespected, and expect them to come back. You got staff that will go above and beyond for you, do anything you need, sometimes will even outweigh the food aspect of a restaurant. But it just depends on how well they work with each other and how well they communicate with their customers and their owners. Everybody has to have communication. It's a big key to having a recipe for success in this business. As we talked to Miss Edie, we let her know the biggest internal threat that we saw at her restaurant was the staff communication, moving properly with the right mindset in the workplace so customers can lead and have good reviews instead of bad reviews. When customers do not have a good time, they're not going to come back. And the way a staff works with each other, works with the customers, and works with their owners and cooks, it all makes a big difference in the way things are presented. Whenever you have good results, you're going to have great results. If you ever have people that are illy talking to each other and not communicating well in the workplace, it's going to lead to chaos and disaster for a business later on. And it's something the owner has to rectify. And she saw that as soon as we pointed out some key concerns to her, and she rectified the situation. One other threat that we saw with Miss Edie, like I said, old building, old housing, made to look like a new business. She had limited space inside for eating. 10 booths, 5 bar stools, that's about it. So whenever you have that, you got people that are liking their food and they keep coming in, you're going to have wait times. You're going to have a long line. I remember doing a monthly check-in. I actually did a personal check-in with her, and I saw about, I want to say maybe 8, 10 people sitting there waiting for a place in line. She even had people bringing food out to people who were waiting that were just wanting to get a biscuit to go. So that is a big threat and a big issue. You have to have spacing, and it's something she's going to have to figure out. We've already given her ideas and even helped her with planning to do remodeling to expand out to get more space in her restaurant to help alleviate this problem. With this information provided to Miss Edie, we came to the conclusion of positive and negative reviews can be addressed to help prioritize your business success, which in turn help you profit line go up dramatically. This business has been around for longer than 40 years, and it has not changed until recently due to the fact that everything is becoming more online exploring for customers before going for their experience firsthand. Making these small changes can help improve that online community and your staff with communication training that will help you reap benefits for the future as a business. You can strengthen your business by giving back into it. So if you give back into your business, it's going to reward you in the long run. Constructive criticism is a big factor, and it helps out with everything you see on a daily basis. With this, your best friend through this process can help any customer at the workplace. So you work together, your best friends, help each other out. Figure it out, and you'll get everything taken care of that you need to. If you have a model that is working but not getting the desired results, let's pick it apart. We'll figure it out here at Intuitive, and we'll see how we can improve it. Even though your model is not failing itself, we can take key little things from it and work it together to make a successful business model that's going to benefit you and your business. I'm glad for the opportunity to help review your restaurant and find solutions for the problems that occur. I will be available for recommendations and advice in the future. You can contact us by phone at 555-867-5309, or you can contact myself at my email at michael@intuitiveconsulting.com. Thank you. Now, just wait a second. We're not done with you yet. Here at Intuitive Consulting, we want to thank you for giving us a chance to join your family and helping you take your restaurant into a further succession rate. And we're going to give you a few little memorable takeaways, door prizes as I will, for giving us a thought. Here will be our door prizes. You got poker chips that will have our information on the front and on the back. You'll have a QR code. Scan that with your phone. It'll take you straight to our website with our contact info and how you'd like to get in touch with us and set up an appointment to give you marketing advice on your restaurant. We have poker chips, like I said, but we also do it in a form of a credit card. A little convenient. Let's face it, poker chips are going to get lost, or you're going to accidentally use them at the casino. We'll find out what happens whenever we talk to you. Y'all have a great day, and thank you for your time.